So last night I went and I saw Lamb of God, Fit for an Autopsy, Kubla Khan, and I found out that I've been saying Singwiskabog. That's wrong. So wrong. God, this is the Gorgira moment all over again. I'm sitting there in the stadium, and Mr. Honeycutt, he's out on stage. Hi, mama, whatever, the huge. And I forget how he actually said it. Sanguisugabog. So I've just been butchering the name personally, and I went back and I read it. I think I'm okay in the sense that I was saying it wrong. Like, I sounded her out. Sanguisugabog? Oh my god. So I got that so wrong. And I was sitting there going, ow. Okay, so I'm an idiot. But whatever, as it goes. Anyways, concert was great. We left a little early, as per usual. I'm kind of a, when in doubt, I'd rather leave early. And we're standing when Lamb of God's playing. We actually hop out into the hallway and get to watch from the stair view. Just because I didn't realize, if you ever go to the Moda Center, I shit you not, the walkways for the seats are like airplane seats. There's like this much room for you to squeeze past another person, and I got tickets in the center of an aisle, and oh my god, it was so difficult to like navigate into your spot if you were in the middle or the very far end, because you could only get in from one side. So FYI, if you are above 6 foot, my fiance was sitting like this the entire time because the seats were so, like, narrow. Seats were great, though, but the foot room, not there. So if you are a foot room girly, or boy, you'd probably want to look at a, like, end of the section seat, just because, oh my god, those seats, like, the walkways to those seats, I cannot explain how tiny they were. So, that's a good FYI and something I'm going to take note of the next time I book tickets. I just also wanted to highlight that it was almost $200 cheaper, including parking. The Moda Center included $30 for parking, which, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not mad at, because it was right next to the venue. I've had places where you pay for parking, it's $50 for a parking pass, and you still have to hike your ass to the venue. This was literally right there, and for $30, and I think our tickets were like $60 each, you can't beat that. You can't beat that. And I didn't have to pay for plane tickets. Granted, I had to drive up there, and so you have to factor in the cost of gas, but Portland, and hot take, Portland's music scene is so much more affordable to attend than LA. I said it, and honestly, at this point, I prefer Portland over LA just because, I have a reason to go up to Portland. So, skedaddle on up there, go see a concert, and it seems like so many more people are coming to Portland because I feel like Seattle and Portland are pretty big hot spots for, like, metal bands, specifically Seattle. And Seattle's like, you hit Seattle, you go down to Portland, and then they either hit San Francisco or Sacramento. It depends on which route they're taking for the concert. So, personally, and I'm saying this lightly, Portland, IMO, better than LA for concert tickets. IMO. Don't kill me. So, I'm definitely going to be looking for more shows in Portland than LA. And that's not to say I'm not going to go hit Sacramento from time to time. Sacramento is quite literally the closest to me. So I'll still be hitting like Chico and Sacramento whenever I can, whenever there is something to go see. But yeah, another thing I wanted to touch on, and this is more so just getting back in the swing of having my little rambles. It's about a 7.5 hour drive. So, I go get lunch, I'll get a drink, and then I will just lock in and drive up here. And then I'm gonna lock in and drive back. I'm very fortunate to be able to take time off work, to be able to go and do these concerts and, take time and see the people I love. So I'm, not everybody's in that position, and I will forever be grateful for the flexibility that my job allows me to have. And so one thing I have really gotten into with the time spent traveling, because you are actively driving. You can't really do much else than drive. I'm not I'm not watching TikTok vertical dramas because I'm driving. I'm busy. But something I'm trying to kind of be a little bit more grateful for, I'm trying to be more mindful of things in 2026, is this time of traveling has really allowed me to listen to albums, go through discographies, and just discover a lot of artists that I never would have, because I didn't have you are captive sitting down driving. Granted, I've always been driving a lot, but my other common jaunt is Highway 36, and I don't know if you guys know that road or not, but there's barely any cell service on it, so anything that I do play is downloaded onto my playlist. So it's stuff that I already know I like. And I'm not super big on downloading albums I haven't listened to before and vetted, because I've run into that situation where I'll go, oh, I want to listen to this new album, and I download it, and oh my god, then I'm like stuck with an album on my Apple Music forever, regardless of if I like it or not. I've done that with some albums before, and now I'm like, I don't know how to undownload music. I don't know if you can. I should probably figure that out, but that's why I've been very hesitant to, implement new music into my playlist. But that being said, I fell into kind of a pitfall of listening to the same exact playlist over and over and over and over and over again. And that was also during my absolute brain rot, brain worms obsession with Sleep Token, even in Arcadia, and Take Me Back to Eden. So there's a little bit of an allowance there for that, because in reality I wasn't listening to much else other than that. But driving on 5, so Interstate 5, you have service for almost the entire way. So what that allows me to do is just let good old Apple Autoplay run. And I have found some amazing bands just going through that. And I got CarPlay in my car now, so all I have to do is go, favorite, and it adds it into my playlist. So I don't think I have ever added more music into my playlist than I have now, because I'm so consistently, granted, the last few months I've been traveling much more frequently than I am going to throughout the rest of the year. But this has allowed me to just onboard so much more new music than I ever have in the past. And I'm trying to be mindful and be grateful of that, because I will play music and let it autoplay on my TV while I'm cleaning my house, but I'm actively doing something else. So I'm not paying attention to the music. I'm like, I don't want to wash these dishes. I'm focusing on something else. I'm actively doing another task. I'm not going to take my gloves off to favorite a song. It just doesn't make sense. Because the second I take those gloves off, girl, I'm not washing any more dishes. So the gloves stay on until the dishes are done. So I just think that that's something, the next time you're going on a road trip, maybe don't have that same playlist you've listened to 55 times in a row, Maybe let autoplay go. Maybe discover a new band you never thought you were going to discover, and take that time of driving to, digest some new music. I do switch the genres, though, from time to time. I've been really into Y2K pop, So I've been kind of going through that a little bit. And then, sometimes you're driving, and I think there is an art form to having some like calm music, because I'm gonna be real, when 6 lanes of traffic and there's truckers everywhere, and I start acting like a little lizard because I'm not used to, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. But exploring new genres, exploring music, exploring or just allowing autoplay to kind of take you on a journey, or even exploring some of the pre-made playlists, like the Essentials playlist that Apple Music makes for genres. I went through the entire Doom Metal Essentials playlist when I was going up to Portland for the Doom Metal Yoga, and you don't, in my mind, I'm not throwing Typo Negative in the Doom Metal bin. I know they belong in there. Some would argue they don't, but that's a different conversation. I haven't listened to them in a hot minute, and he popped back up on my feed, and okay, next thing you know, I'm listening to Typo Negative a little bit more than I thought I was going to be, and just bringing in some new artists and keeping it funky fresh, because I will admit, as much as I give people shit for listening to the same stuff over and over again, I'm that girl. I think Sleep Token was my most listened to artist last year. Not sure how they're gonna, be this year. Fit for an Autopsy, FYI, was my second most listened to artist of 2025. So, that, I was very excited to see them. I was almost not super, I don't know, just seeing them in person. I wish they had a longer set, so I definitely want to see them in a headlining show. That's what you get when you see them, like being a part of a larger show. I was surprised, though, that Kubla Khan was over Fit for an Autopsy. I thought it was going to be the other way around, just in my mind, but also I'm brain rotting, like, listening to their albums over and over and over and over again. I thought they would have had a longer set. I thought they would have been the band before Lamb of God, but, like, considering the energies, like, Fit for an Autopsy had energy. They played Pandora and Far From Heaven, like, love. They ended it with Far From Heaven, and I was just like, I was singing along. Not really. I was kind of like mock singing. I don't want to be that person where somebody's like, oh my god, this chick won't shut up. Because there's been concerts where the person next to me was just belting, like screaming, not like singing, but like just full on, just like girl screaming. Which, like, fine, pop off, Queen, you love the band. It's a little grating sometimes. So I try to be mindful of the other people around me and the concert experience, But 2 of the songs I really liked. I really wanted to hear Red Horizon, but I guess I'm a little late to the party on that single, so it's okay. I get it. Kubla Khan, I'm gonna be honest, I felt like they sounded better at Aftershock. Now, I don't know, granted, take that with a grain of salt, because I don't know if it was the whole body experience of Aftershock. He sounded fine, don't get me wrong. But I think it was also the element of, when I saw Kubla Khan at Aftershock, I was in the crowd. And so there was no way to, like, divert or get away from the energy of it. And our stupid asses stood in the middle of, like, where the pit broke out at the beginning of the festival. I don't think the Portland venue was very pit friendly. There was a pit, but not a huge one. At Aftershock, it was like, literally it parted, and just the gigantic pit was right in front of us, and it moved us. And being in, like, the concert, like a festival setting, you are subject to the crowd, and so you are subject to the energy that the crowd brings. I very intentionally did not choose floor. I do not like standing. I am a sit my ass down and watch the concert kind of girl. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to be in the pit. Not my thing. I don't want to get an elbow thrown at me. I don't want to get punched in the face. My fiance got to see crowd killing for the first time. It's not super new to me, but also sometimes it always just kind of surprises you when you see it after not seeing it for a while. I think the majority of the last few concerts I've gone to have not been hardcore at all. At most, it's been deathcore. And so seeing Kubla Khan and having like a true hardcore pit and seeing somebody with like the karate chop hands, like I wrote an article not too long ago, like one of the first big articles I ever wrote was, what is crowd killing and why is it dumb? I don't like crowd killing. I think it's stupid, but I do think it is a fundamental part of the culture of hardcore. So, live and let live. So, that is also why I, as a consumer, chose to not have floor tickets, because I don't want to subject myself to that. And so I got stadium seating, and the people down in the pit got to do their thing, and they got to crowd kill. I personally, I want to, and this is like might be foreshadowing if I actually do this, but I want to try and gather some of my friends, go to the park, and film a skit where, because like the doom metal yoga very much inspired me. You know how like old people do exercising in the park? I think it would be a really, really, really funny skit if I got just like a bunch of people to go to the park and we made a skit of us doing like crowd killing moves, but okay, give me 3 reps of elbow to the chin, and it's like, and then you just flip the camera over, and then it's just like a fucking field of people doing like the old people exercises in the park, but it's all crowd killing moves. So, if that happens, it happens. If somebody copies that idea, good for you. But yeah, so concert was great. I'm really getting into a lot of new music. I'm really trying to just onboard as much like things I have not been listening to. I'm trying to get out of my comfort zone because I have listened to the same playlist over and over and over again. There's nothing wrong with falling to the like safety of classics, but there's also that I want to constantly be finding new things to enjoy. I found Fit for an Autopsy off of Apple Autoplay, and they're one of my favorite bands now. So I have to, keep putting myself out there and allowing new things to be delivered to me, even if it is just through an algorithm. I am constantly trying to keep an eye out on social media for new bands, but, sometimes I don't want to be on TikTok anymore. I'm really trying. I'm trying really hard to just have a little bit more disconnected, be a little bit more disconnected from social media. I know, oh, you're chronically online. That's fucking mint coming from you. Oh, you want to be a little bit more disconnected from the internet? I know. So, trying to take a little bit more time because I'm going to be honest, my screen time averages about 8 hours a day. That's a lot. That is a lot of time, and I feel like I could be so much more productive and just enjoying so many more things outside of just this rat race of marketing and new bands and just the constant slop that's delivered on my feed. I don't know what else really to say other than that. I mean, I hope you guys have some concerts lined up or you're excited to listen to a new artist. I'd challenge you, put your phone on Apple, like autoplay. Spend 2 hours listening to autoplay music and see where it takes you. Play an artist that you like and it'll recommend similar if there are. Sometimes Apple Music goobs, or whatever platform you use to stream music, but, force yourself outside of the norm. I'm trying to. I might not be the best at it, but it's allowing me to find bands that I never would have discovered otherwise. Breakdown points. Portland, I've been loving the pricing and the venues and the accessibility. Apple Music autoplay, so happy. I got to see Kubla Khan and Fit for an Autopsy. Like, I really wanted to see Kubla Khan in an intimate venue, and I just wanted to see Fit for an Autopsy blanket. So, super excited that happened. Some things I have been, some artists that I've been listening to lately. Let me get you some of the new ones. and I know it's not metal, but Zara Larson's Midnight Sun, God speak English, but Midnight Sun by Zara Larson, phenomenal. I fucking love it. True white girl summer. Absolutely love it. I've been really into funk lately, so Sua Cavallona EP, love it. And Terminal Surge by Murder Playa. It's called Killing Strike, specifically the slowed one. Now, I like brain rot funk, so funk, Phonk. And then Angel Radio, that single, it's by XEOE. Really good. None of these are metal recommendations, FYI. Mafra's Doomed cover. Like, so good. So freaking good. Bring Me the Horizon's Doomed. That's the Spirit. That's the album. That was my go-to in middle school. So having that kind of recirculate back, love it. I had Architects pop up on autoplay, and it was their 2022 album, The Classic Symptoms of a Broken Spirit, Deep Fake. That came on autoplay, and I was like, wow, I need to intentionally save this because I actually really like that song. Also, Rock Your Body by Justin Timberlake. Added that to my feed recently. Hella Good and Underneath It All by No Doubt. That's also been added on recently. Let's see, what else do I have on here? And then Damp Face by Laluz. That's the album. It's an EP, actually. And the song is called Sure As Spring. Love it. If you guys I don't know how to explain it. I haven't listened to it recently. It's a little bit more punky. Soft, rock. Punk rock. Not punky, really. I don't know. I'll edit in a description of it or something. It's so good. And, yeah. That's really all I have. So, I'm going to spend another 7 hours driving home today. I'm going to listen to more music, and I have so much footage to edit. I have over 4 different concerts that you guys haven't seen yet that I am now able to publish. So I'm going to get those posted, and I had a little bit of a brain blast. This is truly a hobby. I get to do whatever I want with this, however I want. So why not have fun with it? And that's what I'm moving into 2026 with. I know we're in March. We're already into April, actually. That's when this is going to get released. But I just gotta take it and roll with it and have fun with it, because that's all that needs to be done. I'm so sick of making everything in my life so serious. I just need something that's just purely for the vibes. And this is going to be that. I truly enjoy content creation. I truly enjoy engaging with people over something that we can find middle ground on. And that's it. I'm not taking this seriously anymore. And maybe that shoots myself in the foot. Maybe not. Only time will tell. So, I'll see you guys next time.